Hello, this is Michael Middleton with the Maintenance Management System. Just had a chance, I wanted to kind of highlight something as we're all kind of growing in our knowledge about performance actuals and just trying to make sure that we're recording our work correctly. And this is about the third week in a row that we have been sending out weekly reports to some of our financial staff, and some superintendents and DMEs are receiving those also. But just wanted a chance to kind of reach out. Had one of our DMEs ask me about maybe doing a short video to talk a little bit more about some PAs. So what I did is I actually logged into MMS, the production environment, and I have impersonated our superintendent up here in the Hannibal area, and has particularly picked R312, as you can see, and have also chosen a date range. So you'll notice that, they've been pretty busy here in looks like Pike County and Rouse County here, and so there's several crews that are working this work together. So as you can kind of look across this area, again, we've got Hannibal up here. We have got Center and Palmyra, and I think we also have Bowling Green. So we got about 4 buildings. They're all within the superintendent area, and there's actually times I wanted to highlight the fact just up the road here is Canton, and sometimes Canton, again, it would be a separate superintendent area, but it has also been involved in just as a crew, as they build a crew to lay mix. Sometimes that goes together. So how do we handle this work? I wanted to recognize, I kind of just jumped in here to take a look at this. So if we highlight route FF right here, right, and route in Rouse County. So take a note, this was some work that was performed, pretty good amount of hours, 284 hours there. Notice here's some liquid asphalt to charge out, about 7,600 gallons of oil. 900 tons of some cold mix placed, so some great stuff that was done on that route there on that route FF. So I want to show you, if you download this information to export, just kind of show you some of the details behind the scene. So I've went to the performance totals, and I've just basically just called out the route FF, okay? So here, just take a note, for instance. All 4 buildings were active on that job. So, frequently happens. Again, we had Center out there, we had Bowling Green, Hannibal, Palmyra, all of them were involved. Also, what I would like to show you is that, again, everyone's involved, but who really reports the PAs? If we go over here and we kind of zero out these zeros, look, right back to Center. Okay, so again, why would it be Center only doing the PAs? Again, like we've talked about, they are your lead building, right? Because that's their county. So however that works out, again, knowing in advance, a bunch of us are working together, who's going to make sure they take care of the PAs, who's not. There's a lot of things that go into it, and we just got to stay on top of that information of who really needs to have that PA. Again, now we have some activities that automatically calculate. Same thing, just because it calculates an activity for you. Say when you're doing chip sealing, right? If you're not the lead, we want to make sure that you are zeroing that out. So let's take a couple examples. So I logged in here again as our superintendent there in the northeast eastern section, and I had already went to our testing environment now. I went out earlier today and I kind of assigned some crews. So I built a crew, and again, superintendents, you guys can always come into assigning work. You can see what all your buildings are doing here, and I assigned some work to these 4 buildings here: Bowling Green, Center, Hannibal, and Palmyra. Again, all of you are doing assigning work each day. I just kind of threw an interesting piece in here, the location. Just look at this here, right? Here's your lead building, Center. Hey, distributor operators are going to come from Bowling Green, Hannibal and Palmyra, hauling material. You can handle this in a lot of different ways, however you might want to do this, right? But this is just another way to just make sure, hey, are we all kind of on top of this? How's this working? So what I'd like to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go to the lead building, right? Center. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to impersonate the supervisor at Center, and kind of just go through the steps real fast of that. So they know they're the lead, right? And again, in this case, it's because the route is in their area. Again, that might not always be the rules that people use, but again, someone has to be the main lead building and how they are taking care of documenting work. So I'm going to come in here as Mr. John here, and we're going to document for work today. Now, again, I've already assigned something, start time. Notice he's the leader. I'm going to go ahead and hit next and move on to our pages here. So as we come across, we'll go past, finish up the labor page here. We'll go into the equipment page. moving past the equipment page, and go to location. So again, we have 4 buildings, right? All 4 buildings is going to have a lead person. All 4 buildings are going to come in here and pick where they did work at. So again, we worked on Route K. In our case today, I'm going to say that we really kind of worked here from the intersection, and we worked about this county road right there, right? And we worked in both directions. Now again, all lead people for all 4 buildings are going to have to pick where the work was performed. And now from this page on, it does change. For Mr. Knickerbottom, his situation, he's the lead building, right? So he's going to charge out his mix, coal mix. Sure enough, we placed 100 tons today, okay? So we put 100 tons today, whatever that might have been. Yep, we had some liquid asphalt. He's also shooting some of this cutback, and I'm going to say that we did 200 gallons of cutback, whatever it might have been, right? He's taking ownership of that material. This is all coming out of his warehouse. Again, why we want to encourage, have your commodities in your warehouse. You get to control that, make sure that's flowing through you. Could have been some aggregate, other things there. Again, that's the lead person for the lead building, taking care of that. Then you come to the PAs, and of course, yep, we're going to enter our PA of 100 tons. John takes care of that, hits next, right? So that's the situation there. He took care of some commodities in that situation there. In that case there, it was in his warehouse. It was his coal mix in his warehouse, handling it there in that situation. So I'm going to hit done. So let's go to another example real fast here. So the Bowling Green building, and that is 7B13. The Bowling Green building is also participating in this activity. And I'm just going to choose again the supervisor, Mr. Grote, and he was, let's say that they were providing the distributor operator, right? And let's say Mr. Grote here is the one that is the lead person for this particular crew. Again, that's what we've already pre-assigned. He's the lead person, and we go to the next page here, and we take care of entering his information here. Again, you take care of your equipment like you normally do, and again, picking where you perform the work. I'm going to go the same exact deal as I did down here, right? I'm going to have to zoom over to this area, and I'm going to have to find the Route K that we're on. So, need to make sure I pay attention to what I'm doing, right? How about I get in the right county? I was in Riles County there. Sorry about that, guys. I needed to go north here. So we get to Riles County here, and we're going to pick this Route K. This is where we worked, right? And we worked here between the intersection again and the county road. So I'm going to pick both directions. Again, lead person. Now, again, Bowling Green was actually providing the distributor operator. They're the ones that were shooting the oil. Okay, so it could be, in some instances, right, it could be that actually that oil is in Bowling Green's warehouse, right? And if that's really the case, it's sitting in Bowling Green's warehouse. They're the ones that kind of hold the oil for everybody. Then again, yeah, pick your liquid asphalt, charge out that emulsion, whatever that might be, okay, if that's the case. And it's not always that same way. You know, I already said in the previous example that Center, you know, it was in their warehouse, but maybe really it wasn't in Center's warehouse. All Center had by the lead building just had the coal mix. So maybe Bowling Green has the oil for everybody. Again, you are making sure you're putting that commodity. Now, you could handle this differently. You could transfer that commodity to a different building. That's fine. Put in their warehouse. Now, what are you going to do when it comes to the PAs? Are you the lead building? No. You're going to enter that 0 there because you are not the lead building. It does not matter that you had commodities coming out of your warehouse. You are not the lead building. So, again, that's how we want to handle that. Let's go to one more building again. And now let's go down to Hannibal. Okay, so we'll enter Hannibal 7B15. We'll go into the Hannibal building, and we will take care of entering this. So again, Hannibal is providing some activity, some help here for this. I'll scroll down here. We'll choose a supervisor. Again, let's say supervisor is involved with this activity. He comes in to document his work at the end of the day. I hit document. Mr. Youngblood comes in here. Again, he's going to document for today. That's the activity, and we hit next. Again, you would take care of your equipment like you normally do, and then again back to location, right? So we're been to, again, back to that spot. If we're going to go find Route K in Riles County, pay a little bit more attention this way to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Well, once again, I got to pay attention where I'm at here. There we go. So we'll scroll down here. Pick the intersection, Again, to that county road, that's where we perform the work, right? We're all going to pick the same kind of deal because we have lead per building, right? Now, in Mr. Youngblood's case, again, what they were doing was just providing some drivers for trucks, hauling mix, right? So they're not supplying oil. It's not coming out of their inventory. They're not supplying aggregate out of their inventory. They're just providing some additional personnel. So again, no materials. Come to PA page. What was it? Well, we did 100 tons of mix today. No, you're not the lead building. 0. Make sure that you've zeroed that out. Now, same thing. If you were doing an activity here like chip seal and it automatically filled that in, it would be the same exact answer. If you are the support building, you want to make sure that you are zeroing that out. So hopefully this can kind of give an example here of, again, understanding before you start that work. And again, I want to applaud this group up here. It looks like they've just been doing a really good job when you look at some of the data that's here. It's all about who's the lead building, right? And the lead building's going to take care of those PAs. When it comes to materials, then it's going to be, well, it depends a lot of whose warehouse is it in. Following that money trail, kind of seeing where that information's coming, making sure it's getting charged out correctly, right? You always have the ability to transfer that commodity into someone else's warehouse in the inventory, right? You could always do that. That way it's nice and clean. My first example, Center entered everything. Or maybe it's, yep, Center's got the coal mix. Hannibal's over here with the oil. They hold the oil for everybody, and it pulls out. It's just everyone does a little different, but it's back to what should we report. So thank you so much for everything you guys are doing to keep on top of our PAs. Continue to kind of double check those weekly. Make sure that we're not doubling up somewhere. Particularly watch those activities that automatically calculate. Mowing, chip sealing, sweeping. We want to make sure we're on top of that. Pavement preventative maintenance, R315, right? We want to make sure that we're not duplicating these PAs. And again, anything we can do to help, please reach out to us. We help you in any way possible. Be safe out there. Take care of yourselves and have a great day. Thank you.